Resisting arrest in Washington state. What is it? When does it get charged? And what do you do about it if you're facing a resisting arrest charge? Well, if you have any of those questions, you're just interested in the law, this is the video for you. My name is Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Lynnwood, Washington. We have a law firm that's been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years. And I've been putting out these videos to help educate the public about different areas of the criminal law because, let's face it, most of us never get involved with a criminal problem. And if we do, we need to do some research before we call an attorney. And so hopefully you'll find this helpful. Or if you're just interested in the law, I think you'll find this helpful as well. So if you find it helpful, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me get our message out there and affect more people and educate more people. So in this video, I'm going to cover three things. How is resisting arrest defined in Washington state? And as part of that, what are the penalties? Number two, what are some common situations we see resisting arrest charged? How does it come up? And when doesn't it come up? And then finally, number three, and most importantly, if you're involved in this situation, if you're charged with resisting arrest, or you know somebody who is, what might we do to help? How might we defend it? How are we going to keep you out of jail? And so stick to the end because that part many people think is the most important. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Number one, what is resisting arrest in Washington state? Well, think about resisting arrest like this. It's intentionally preventing or attempting to prevent a law enforcement officer from lawfully arresting a suspect. So actually preventing them from arresting you or somebody, or attempting to prevent. And what's the penalty? Well, this is one of the only crimes in all of Washington state, believe it or not, that is a simple misdemeanor, which means the maximum penalty is 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Most non-felonies are gross misdemeanors, where it's a 1 year in jail max and a $5,000 fine max. And so, strangely, if you resist arrest, you fight with an officer, struggle with an officer, the maximum penalty is only 90 days in jail. And we have a video on obstruction. If you do obstruction, which is sort of like hinder their investigation, that's a 1 year in jail max. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's what the law says. So the second thing, as I said I would cover, is what are some common situations where we see resisting arrest? Well, the most common situation might be a DUI. We're not at our best if we happen to be drunk and we happen to be being arrested. So we struggle. We refuse to turn around. We tense up. We take multiple officers to tackle us to the ground to get handcuffs on us because we just refuse to cooperate. And so that's a common resisting arrest situation. I've also seen it when somebody is being investigated for domestic violence assault. The officers are in your home and how dare they be in my home, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep from being arrested. And so that's another situation where we see resisting arrest. We don't normally see it just like running from someone. We don't often see resisting arrest charged when someone just runs. We see other things like obstruction, but resisting arrest most commonly is physically struggling during an otherwise lawful arrest. So speaking of lawful arrest, number three, which I said I would cover, so thanks for staying here towards the end, is what are some ways we can defend that? How can we keep someone out of jail? Well, the most important way we try to defend is to say, hey, that really wasn't resisting, just tensing up, is that really attempting to prevent someone from arresting you? Or did the officer potentially, go a little too far in the reaction and thinking that was resisting? In other words, if we don't get arrested all the time, it's natural to not, behave in a way that's exactly perfect. It may hurt to get your arms put behind your back, or you don't feel you're being listened to. So it just depends how big is the dispute. A smaller little dispute, the officer's just mad. Sometimes we can convince a prosecutor that, it doesn't meet the definition or the elements. Another way we can defend resisting arrest is to say, well, we didn't know we were being arrested. We couldn't hear what the officer was saying. It wasn't clear to us. It was the alcohol we were drinking. We weren't purposely resisting, because it has to be intentionally resisting, not accidentally. Some defenses that aren't valid is, it says lawful arrest, but so what if the arrest was found to have no probable cause? Well, the case law generally suggests that we're only allowed to resist arrest if it is harming us physically, threatening our physical safety. In other words, if we get arrested and we resist, and later it turns out it was an illegal arrest, that isn't necessarily a defense, believe it or not, to resisting arrest. So that's a defense that isn't there. And the final situation is, in all cases, we want to take a look at the overall situation, someone's criminal history or not, and what we can do to address the situation. If alcohol was involved, maybe we do some alcohol classes. If we were just angry, maybe we do some anger classes. Maybe we need to write an apology letter to the officer, because most people feel pretty bad about what happened afterwards if you really did resist. So if you find this helpful, hopefully you do, please like the channel, please subscribe. It helps me get the message out there. And if you happen to be in this situation, or you know someone who needs some legal help, feel free to give our office a call. We've been defending people charged with this type of crime for more than 20 years, all throughout Washington State. And usually these turn out pretty good, because again, it's a lower level crime and it's usually not that serious. So reach out to us, give us a call. We'll listen to what happened. We'll get a strategy to help you out of this mess, and we'll be there for you. Thank you.